Hi, I'm Noshir Zafar, Solutions Consultant at Engage ESM. Welcome to this short video created by one of our experts to deliver a demonstration of a ServiceNow feature you might not be aware of, something which we hope will help make the experience of your employees, customers, and end users just that little bit better. Are you using ServiceNow, but would you like to make it easier to use? Would you like to change the way information is displayed? And would you like to be able to do this without changing everyone else's views? Today, Robert Hunter, a technical consultant, will show you how.
Okay, let's start with accessibility, a really important feature to enable an accommodating and inclusive workplace. Navigate to User Menu, Preferences, Accessibility. Here we can see 6 features: show date and time formats on forms, enable data table for charts and graphs, replace colors with patterns in charts and graphs, reduce motion, enable special keyboard shortcuts, and enable accessibility in Classic. To use any of them, you just have to move the slider relative to the selected function. Okay, let's see what these can do. I'm going to navigate to the incident list in order to show these off by typing incident.list in the filter navigator. Here we can open an incident and view the resolution information. Now let's enable the date and time format feature. After the page reloads, let's see how it looks now. And as we can see, the format appears alongside the field. This feature is particularly useful for clarity if working across cultures and countries using a different datetime format to which you are familiar. Differences notably exist, for example, in date formats between the US and Europe. Moving on, let's return to the list and generate a pie chart. Here, we can enable the data table for charts and graphs feature to see its effect. After reloading, if we look at the bottom, we'll notice a small plus sign. Clicking it will bring up the data table, which wasn't previously available. This is a great feature if you'd like to drill down into the specifics with a handy table available as well as the visuals every time you view a chart or graph. The next function is great for anybody who wants to adjust charts and graphs, such as this one, to display patterns such as stripes or dashed lines instead of just a solid color. Let's go ahead and enable it. As we can see, our pie chart has adopted a snazzy new appearance. This feature is of particular importance to colleagues with color blindness, who can distinguish between these funky lines much more easily than some color combinations. Let's move on and reduce the animations when switching between screens. This feature pertains mainly to login animations, but we can see its effect when opening the application navigator, like so. As we can see, when enabled, the transition no longer has motion. This feature is useful for anyone who would prefer to reduce ServiceNow's fluid transitions. It's also particularly important for those with attention disorders who may struggle to concentrate and work with motion animations enabled. And what about the shortcuts? Let's set this feature on. If I do that, I'll be able to use special keyboard shortcuts. For example, if I press Ctrl, Alt, and G simultaneously, I can access global search there at the top. And the last one, enable accessibility in Classic. This function extends keyboard navigation and enables more tab stops in the Classic environment, so you can tab to icons and buttons in lists, form fields, and cards. This option also presents additional information on forms. For people who prefer to or must use a keyboard rather than a mouse, this is a really useful feature. I'll leave that one for you to explore. Okay, now let's talk about display preferences. Let's navigate again to User Menu, Preferences, but Display. As you can see, you are able to set your display in many different ways. So what can you do with your display? First of all, you are able to organize form sections and related lists into tabs in Classic Forms. It allows you to tidy up and shorten forms by grouping relevant information. Let's see how that changes the incident form. As you can see, it toggles the grouping of sections into tabs, shortening the overall length of the form and making it look a lot tidier. The second function is to put line breaks in lists. It enables you to end a current line and start a new line in the same list entry. Pretty nice. What's more, you can set your preferred date and time format with options including calendar, time ago, or both. You can also set your time zone and the current start page, the page which first appears when you log in to the instance. We also have the option to load related lists at the bottom of Classic Forms in one of the following times: with the form, after the form loads, or on demand. As an example, you might want to change this to on demand if you aren't using these related lists and you'd like the form to load slightly faster. The next function is named Use Compact Spacing Mode. It helps to optimize the spacing between form fields, controls, list rows, and columns, displaying more dense content on forms and lists. Let's see how this looks. As we can see, everything is a little bit more condensed, a really useful feature if you have limited screen real estate. Next, we have the penultimate feature, Show Help Tips on Forms, which, if we enable it, provides helpful text to explain the function and configuration of elements in the instance. Really useful here to get some confirmation about what a certain field denotes, like so. And finally, we have Always Show Top Navigation. It means that when opening a new browser tab or window from the current ServiceNow window, the top navigation persists, so you can continue to access your menus. Let's take a quick look. As we can see, when opening this user record in a new tab, we still have the top menu, allowing us to navigate away and continue our work in that tab. And that's accessibility and display preferences. Great features that allow you to configure your instance to your needs without worrying about changing it for somebody else.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope it helps you to boost the ServiceNow user experience in your organization. Watch out for other videos in this series and don't forget that you can contact us for further information.